Hey guys, it is Mike. I am back. I'm going to do a few videos today on Sunday, March 1st. With this time of year with work travel, I'm overnight a lot and gone almost all week, so it's hard for me to get videos done because I'm constantly working. Because when I get off of a monitoring or visit and I go back to the hotel, I usually spend most of the night making sure that the language and everything is right in my report. So, first video I want to do today was a tag video, and I was tagged by my friends Jen and Christian over at Jen's Reviews from the Grave. And it was a tag about 80s cheesy movies. And of course, the 80s was pretty much cheesy. There was a lot of cheese in just about every movie. There were some that were a little darker than others. Of course, Texas, some of the Chainsaw Massacres, Friday the 13th, the early ones, the early Halloweens, the early Freddy Kruegers. They weren't too cheesy. They were actually pretty cool and scary. Um, so there was a set of, I think it's 10 questions. Yeah, 10. And I'll just kind of go through these. But I appreciate Jen tagging me. I never get tagged on anything, so it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate it. All right, so the first, what is your favorite cheesy horror movie of all time? Gosh, that's hard because so many of the movies that I like have a certain amount of cheese to them. But I'm going to have to say Maximum Overdrive is one of my favorites. I love watching that movie. I don't think it was, I don't know, maybe it was intentionally cheesy, but the characters in it just cracked me up. That squeaky voiced girl, and yeah, it was just kind of fun. Just a fun, cheesy sci fi little ride. I enjoy it a lot. The worst 80s cheesy horror movies of all time, I don't know. After Freddy Nightmare 3, I really stopped enjoying the Nightmare on Elm Streets because Freddy became a stand-up comedian. I don't know. So I went ahead and went with Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, just because there was a lot of silliness in that one. I've watched them all. I own them all because I own the collection, but truly, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are about the only ones I'll watch. And 4 I have to be in the right mood for, but I love the Arquette girl that's in it, so I don't know. Anyway, best produced 80s cheesy horror movie. I loved Christine. I thought that one was pretty cool the way it was produced. That car was pretty creepy. It's hard to make an inanimate object creepy. Other than a house, you can make a house creepy, but to make a car creepy and kind of frightening, yeah, it was. I thought they did a great job with that. The weirdest cheesy movie, Society. That movie is just so bizarre. I remember seeing that a long time ago, and I actually had forgotten about most of it. And then somebody did, I think it may have been Dead Meat, or it may have been, I don't know, one of the Carnage counts or something, did a kill count on it. There's only 2 people that die in the movie. And yeah, I had to watch it again, and yeah, it's pretty weird. Right up there with the weirdness. Best scene from any 80s cheesy horror movie. This may not be. This was a fun 80s horror movie, The Blob, the remake. There were so many scenes. I mean, anything where anybody is like, I don't know, ripped in half, snapped in half. But in The Blob, this scene stuck with me forever. I mean, I even drew pictures of it and stuff, where they're trying to keep the Blob from getting in the building, and that one cop gets grabbed from the tentacles of the Blob, and it pulls him through the building, snaps him in half. Also, the sheriff and Jason Lives, when he gets bent in half, that was pretty horrible. Yeah, there's been a few scenes that from 80s movies that stuck with me. Uh, Favorite creature from any 80s cheesy horror movie? Pumpkinhead. I love Pumpkinhead. He's fun. Um, poor Pumpkinhead, he got a bad rap and never really did as good as it should have. But yeah, I love me some Pumpkinhead. Um, Favorite cheesy horror movie with aliens from space? Have you guys ever seen this one? Could have also went up there with worst and weirdest. Bad Taste. That movie's crazy. Um, but yeah, those aliens are creepy. Are they freaky? They're like they got the big fat fingers. I don't know. It was just yeah, Bad Taste definitely. Scariest 80 cheesy horror movie. Now this one was dark in a lot of ways, but the scene in this movie where the girl gets licked to death by a big bug, um, Galaxy of Terror. That movie flipped me out, especially when poor Erin Moran gets all wrapped up by those things because she's claustrophobic and I'm claustrophobic. Um, and when those things wrapped around her and ended up, basically exploding her, that was pretty bad. Uh, and once again, Galaxy of Terror for the next question. Favorite cheesy horror sci-fi film? Galaxy of Terror. I like that one. Or even Maximum Overdrive. They're both sci-fi. They both have their cheesy elements. And then the cheapest looking cheesy horror film has to be Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. They had dealt with so many issues and funding issues, and it was like Friday the 13th was on its last leg by that point. And it was all just dark and dreary, and even New York City, the scenes shot in New York City just didn't feel like New York City to me. I've been there a few times, and I thought as much as I try to like this movie, and because it has a couple actors in it that I like, basically Kelly Hu. Um, yeah, it's not that great. It's not that bad. It's not Jason Goes to Hell, which is. But yeah, okay. So that is my response to Jen, um, Jen and Christian's tag for. I can't even remember who started this tag, but I'll put that in the byline. So, alright guys, that is my cheesy 80 video tag. Talk to you later. I may put a couple tags, but otherwise if you want to do it, do it. I'm so late that probably most of you have already done it. But yeah, maybe the horror fan, Evil Stevel, have you done this yet? I don't know. Alright, talk to you later guys. Bye.